I need to go to Rumble, or get ready to go live on Rumble. I'll go live whenever we actually go live for today.
Camera. Got your camera.
What about it?
You need to turn it on.
It's there. That. Please watch it right on. There's that. Alright, there.
Perfect. Perfect. Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 4, season 2. I am Alex and he is Jonathan. And today we are going to have a fun-filled, action-packed podcast for you guys today. So Jonathan, tell us, what have you been doing Linuxy this week?
This week? Oh, wow. In regards to Linux, so I have actually been working on symlinking the zipper command to using only DNF. That's been a pain in the arse, to say the least.
Right.
And then the reason why earlier I forgot I was working in the middle of this when I had to leave for work last night. I am actually removing zipper altogether from OpenSUSE.
Yay!
Yeah.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Right. It's
What are you going to
there's
go
a
with?
lot that has to be worked around because of that, but I'm just trying to make it where DNF replaces everything. If this works, I
DNF
honestly might
5?
release my DNF 4 for now.
4.
There's some bugs with DNF 5
Mhm.
on OpenSUSE, but it's a step in the right direction, to say the least, right? So the big thing is, once I get it working, I think I'll make myself an ISO and let people use it if they want to. It's not
Okay.
really that hard to make on OpenSUSE.
Wait,
And
you're going to make
then
an ISO of your whole operating system?
basic yes and no. It'll be more like an install. It's kind of like what you have now, but for OpenSUSE, but just have it where it'll use DNF by default. So it's going to be kind of a mishmash between like what Fedora and OpenSUSE is, essentially.
All right.
Like somewhere in the middle. Yep.
All right. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought process right there. It's going to be
It
a little
is.
bit of a project for you there.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, I'm actually about to go live on Rumble so that we can get this going.
Wait, I thought you were going
Yeah.
live on Rumble the minute that I started, so.
I was trying to, but I had to finish setting up the actual stream itself because it never got set up.
All right.
Here, so let's see. We're gonna go to multiple output. Rumble, hit start.
All right. And so now we should be.
Oh, it failed to connect. So let's go to the streamer configuration. Copy the key.
So
over.
While you're doing that, I will simply say that for me this week in Linux, what I've been doing is a little bit of research on stuff. And I was trying to install some stuff on Nix, which I was having no problems with on that aspect. But I was doing on an environment level versus the actual global level, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's nix-env --install, and they'll just install it straight to the environment. But other than that, it was kind of cool. And I spent some time setting up this backdrop that you see behind me. No more living room, as you guys can see. Nice, beautiful black curtain that I set. Well, it's actually a photographer's curtain. Wasn't, expensive, but it wasn't super inexpensive either. But anyhow, I set that up and it looks really, really nice. And, it makes everything seems so much better. I didn't realize how much light loss was coming in from the back. And so, Jonathan, are you there? Because you seem to have froze.
I am here. OBS crashed. I will relaunch my video in just a second.
Okay. So, yeah, at any instance, I set that up. I mean, it was not a huge thing, but it took some time, to do that with. But other than that, that's all I've done in Linux. Also, I started putting together my my new rig that I got parts for. So putting in the water cooler and the CPU and the inside the motherboard, getting ready to drop it in a case. Just got to find the case that I want.
I think it's the plugin that's doing it. We'll have to do it the other way.
Do what? You know what? How about we just forget about doing it there right now?
Today?
Yeah, and then what I'll do is we'll just do our own. Just to have to do a second stream to Rumble. Great.
Okay, so
now you gotta there you go.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why. we talked about it the other day, actually. And speaking of that stuff,
Yeah.
I think it is a plugin because it wasn't working the other day. It's not working now, and this time I know it's not on me because I just changed over the key to the new stream that I had set up. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh well.
But it worked for me the other day on my end, so I don't know what, you know. I just don't have the
I'm just doing
bandwidth.
what it says to. So
Yeah. Well, either way, we'll just do our own separate stream for them anyhow, then I guess.
okay.
But either way, that's what I've done so far in Linux. Other than that, you know, not much going on. I did DT's Patreon cast today. It was kind of cool. And they talked a little bit about our first topic over there. Warp. And the new written in Rust terminal that has AI embedded.
You know, whenever I found that terminal, I was so impressed, mainly by its looks, right? And I call me a shill if you want for that. But I know I thought of like eyeball candy, right? And I was like, ooh, this is so pretty.
Oh,
so
it's
cool.
gorgeous. In fact, I'll see
It
if I
is.
can. I'll see if I can pull it up on screen for people here, since I have
Okay.
it installed. So this is what it looks like right here. As you can see, I got it installed. It keeps a log history up at the top every time that you do it. When I tried to type in sudo, it says that the no new privileges flag is set, which prevents sudo from running as root. So if you are running in a container, which I guess it does on its own, you may need to adjust the container configuration to disable that flag. So I've tried doing that, and it I can't get it to run as sudo. So for me, I don't know if it's something, because like I said, I literally just uploaded it or installed it today and started playing with it. It looks beautiful. I mean, it's got, like, if I type in Vim and it's got, already like predictive text, like, and you just use your arrow keys and hit over, then it's your full path right there to edit my hyperlink next.
Right.
So I mean, it's really nice. I mean, it's kind of fast. I heard it was kind of bloated and slow, so I didn't experience that, but somebody else has seemed to experience it. But for me, it looks really, really nice. Also, you can theme it right out of the box with like 4 different themes. The system default dark. There's Dracula. I think Solarize is another one. I can't remember the other ones. And you can even change your prompt to be simple or something else as well. So it comes with a couple of themes already.
So, like, the thing is with it, right? There's a couple things. So it is great. It looks amazing. It does have a little bit of extra functionality if people aren't aware as well, right? The reason why you do have to log into an account to use this terminal, as Donald and the chat is mentioning.
Yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. Yeah.
It is controversial, but I understand why they have it. So they actually have a co-pilot type assistant AI in it that allows you to like ask coding questions. So they got to be able to limit the amount of questions you can ask somehow. And I think they're doing it through the account. That's what makes logical sense to me.
Right.
Right. So, and I don't know why they wouldn't do it that way. So yeah, there is that. And then on the same note, I have to tell you, it's definitely improved for me because I'm not really a coder per se. I more just throws things together, to be honest. So it's nice to be able to ask an assistant to start, at least give me a starting point.
Well, the other thing that I noticed
from there,
the other thing that I noticed about it is they've already got a good portion of things already in it that are like predictive text already in it for different languages. Yeah. From what I've noticed. So I mean, it's kind of cool in that aspect. Like I said, the AI built into it. Like let me show you like the AI. Oh, I want to show you. Here's some of the themes that you could theme it to. I'll show it on screen real quick. Made with Warp, all these different themes right here. As you can see, some of them are like a Dracula, some, I think almost like a Capuchin or a Tokyo Night. But either way, they have those. It's enterprise ready. But as you can see, you know, they have like different command searches you can go into that will give you Like you can even set up a notebook in there. You can go into notebooks, and I mean, it's kind of cool what you can do. But they already have a lot of your programming languages already done in there. They already got a whole bunch of the Git commands already in it set up for you, so you can just use it right away. I mean, just like you're pushing code to your GitHub or whatever. So I mean, it's definitely a developer and a coder's dream. If they made an option where you could opt out of the AI thing, that would be kind of cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think they shouldn't necessarily make it where you opt out. I think they should make it where you can have an anonymous account. You know how there's a lot
Okay.
of services like yeah, there's a lot of services that tend to do that. So it's just kind of I think they missed a little bit by not having something like that. Because right, a lot of the developers are from privacy centric backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, whenever you're mentioning that somebody was saying it was bloated, I think that person was probably more of a minimalist because this is more for like a power user, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
than it is.
The other thing
Yeah,
that I question in it is it uh, GPU or CPU driven type terminal? Because there's no clear
right.
documentation on it that says whether it's GPU or CPU.
That is something I want to find out as well because if it's GPU driven, that's great, and I'm really all for it. If it's CPU driven, that means they really missed out on a feature like majorly that other terminals that already have, right? Like Alacrity or Kitty, right? Those are
Mm-hmm.
3D accelerated.
Right.
And I would find it hard to believe they would go through all of this trouble to make it look as good and function as well as it does.
And make it off CPU.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of agree with that too, but it'd be nice if there was a little bit more clear documentation on it, you know what I mean, as far as that's concerned.
Right.
The documentation is typical for when it comes to uh Linux documentation. You know, I mean, it's got some nice documentation. It looks pretty nice, but to me, it seems a little lacking, like as if they're still maybe developing the documentation. I don't know, but either way, Warp Terminal looks to be like it could eventually become a game changer. They just got to improve it a little bit and get better documentation. And then also, that's the other thing too is you can run it. It's like almost containerized.
Right. I I think so. You're saying it can be it's really life changing almost from what I'm understanding.
Well,
So here,
it has the potential. I mean, it's got some smarts built into it, and it's literally you know no plugins are required. It's pretty much so set up out of the box
my
beautifully.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's got a lot of good plugins put into it right out of the box.
I agree with you. I have a kind of a guesstimate on what I think is going to happen because with it being very proprietary, like in a lot of
Well, that's another
aspects.
thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is there's probably going to be an open source clone made, and then that's going to be what everybody uses, right? Like, there's so many great instances of this in the Linux space. I mean, heck, Linux, the Linux kernel itself is exactly that. So
Yeah.
I could see something like that happening, to be honest, because then it's more open and more freedom respecting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see, I could see that happening, but in my opinion, like I said, you know, I think that a lot of people are just going to improve upon it in itself. You know, I don't know what kind of development team it has behind it. It looks like to be a pretty huge one because when you scroll to the bottom
Yeah.
of the page, there's a lot of people involved. You know, a lot of pictures and profiles down there. So I think that they're just getting started. You know what I mean? And I think that there's a long road to improvement along the way, and you'll see it be fine tuned more. A lot more pride features that they have already implemented, added that they've not, you know, even talked about, might happen
Mhm.
down the road, which I think would be awesome. You know, it may become something like I don't know what, like Emacs. You know what I'm saying? You know, where you
Right,
can,
right.
you know, where you get, it just becomes its own, almost an own operating system, so to speak. You know what I mean? And so I you know, who knows what road this is going to go down to, but it's all written in Rust and it looks beautiful. And that's the other thing, the font rendering in it is phenomenal.
Freaking amazing.
It's like clarity is like, holy
Yeah.
crap. I mean, it, for, like I said, like you said, you know, the eye candy gets you. Cause I tell you what, when I first launched it, I was like, whoa. I was like, what is this? What is this that I'm looking at? At first I was a little confused because it can't, and it even, what's interesting is it even came up like, you know, in every thing, you know, I mean, it reads your, it connects with your bash RC like beautifully, because I mean, it even pulled up the NeoFetch everything. You know what I mean? It, right off the bat, I was like, wow. And I mean, it was like the clearest NeoFetch I've ever seen. I've never seen Ansky look that good.
Right, exactly. Real quick, in the chat,
Yeah.
Jay clarified it is GPU accelerated. He found it in they found it in the documentation.
Oh, sweet.
So that makes sense, like we probably thought.
That's what we thought. Yeah.
And then War Thunder was saying here that proprietary isn't the end of the world, though, as long as it's a decent
No.
product and a good company. I agree with that to an extent. I think, you know, I understand a company has to make money. So my solution that I always tend to go to is you make a proprietary version of a product and then you make an open source version of the product, right? And then you feel
Well,
a lot of the
somebody
research done on the proprietary one by the open source one, kind of like what Chromium does to Chrome, right? And that's
getting
a business
getting
model that
your
works.
labor done for free.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good that it's. I don't ever get, you know, somebody mentioned something about that in the Patreon cast, and for me, you know, proprietary doesn't really. It's not a hold up for me. It never has been. You know, I believe that developers should get paid. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time away from family and, you know, friends and whatever, and life in general, to do this kind of stuff. And you know, so to give them some dollars for it, I don't think it's a problem at all. You know what I mean? If you have a problem donating to a software that you truly enjoy and you use daily, then you are a problem. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
I agree
I'm not trying to be rude, but you are a problem, because the reality of it is you got to support, you know, there. I mean, yeah, it's great that somebody took on the challenge to do that, but then again, they also took it on to make it for themselves and then are sharing it with other people. So you just, like at a restaurant, you know, people don't have a problem giving that 10, 15, you know, 5% tip. Why can't you do the same for a developer?
And I'm like, and there's even like,
especially if you're using it to make money like I do. I mean, we make money off this stuff. It's pennies, but you know, but nonetheless, I mean, you know, we still make some money, you know. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm using it to make money on.
Right, and from what we've done so far, it pretty much just all goes back into the channel for the most part. So,
and also somebody did, War Thunder brought it up too, that you know, something to be said about a cross-platform app, which this thing is. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of investment there. So I'm saying, go get your dollars. Go get it.
That's a lot of very solid, like really, really solid investment too. Because if you make it the same experience across the board, then people know what they're getting, right? Because there's some applications, I know this to be a fact, but I can't think of a great example right now. Where what they'll do is they'll use different version of binaries because, you know, Windows uses this type or Linux uses this type. But no, it seems like they've done pretty much the same across the board. So, and that's really, really hard to do. So,
yeah, well, Jake was saying it also has a Dracula theme too. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Right out of the box, you can, you know, it's nice. You can get some pretty nice themes. They're all pretty nice. And it'll use also the System 1 for dark or whatever it is. But I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's actually pretty cool. It's not bad. Like I said, I think, you know, as it, you know, gets developed a little bit more down the road, I think it'll be all right, you know. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I really like it. I just gotta, hey, what's up, Ben? I'm glad our moderator showed up.
He's here. He's probably been here a while, I bet.
Yeah, lurking. But anyhow, like I said, you know, I just got to figure out. Well, I haven't not tried yet. Like I said, it was only done briefly right before the show, but I got to figure out if I can install it proper on in the full system thing to try to use it here on Nix OS. But it's in. I got it installed in the environment way and not the shell way. I didn't try the shell way, but I got it in the environment way. I just got to look to see if I can get it installed in the system config on the rebuilds in the rebuild side.
On your end, if think that honestly that'd make like a great short or a great video or something, because you guys, from what we've talked about a little bit, there seems to be a little bit different issues with trying to install it on NixOS, right? Or am I misunderstanding?
Well, so far that when I went to just briefly install it with the Flake rebuild way, it told me that I needed to enable some type of software, unknown software, something like that. I don't remember exactly. It gave me a prompt, but I didn't want to do all that just yet. But it gave me the also documentation on how to actually install it in the environment variable way. So in the environment way, sorry, not the variable way, but the environment way. And so I did that, and it worked just fine. What I will tell you is, if you do it that way, also you have to, when you create your account, to get it to work, I had to copy the token, which is a little thing in there. Click here to copy your token. It doesn't even give you a prompt saying you copied it, like copied to clipboard or anything like that. You just go click in the token box, hit Control-Shift-V, and boom, it's there. And it copies it right in, you hit OK, and boom, you're off to the races.
For me, I'm just gonna go and just,
hey, Whiskey, what's going on?
Yeah, hey there. I think, even though it's proprietary, I think I'm probably gonna continue to use it going forward. I really, really like it.
It's smooth.
It's so smooth. It's great. It works really well.
Did you have that issue with the sudo flag?
With the what?
With the sudo permissions flag?
I did not, no.
So I think if I get it, I think it's because I did it in the environment instead of doing it into this whole system-wide thing. That might be why it's doing it. Which is okay, which makes sense to me. I mean, that makes sense to me. Jake brought up something. He's in chat. And he brought up something in the beginning about talking about the BTRFS issue, that the bug that was reported the other day. Well, first off, I want to say something, man. Props to them for fixing their bug like lightning fucking quick. It was amazing. Yep. Okay, so like it got reported like yesterday, and it was already fixed this morning. By the time we did the DT Patreon cast, Jake had already posted in the server in our Discord that it was fixed. Yep. So I mean, that was like an overnight fix. It was fantastic. What it was is Valve interject. They put something in it that wound up like totally just like nuking your entire partition, your BTR partition. So. Not good.
Right.
Not good.
But it did, right. It's like you said, it's been patched though.
Yeah, it's been patched. So
I will give some credit to Jake though. I mean, dude, that dude was tell him to keep making sure everybody knew what was going on. I mean, I saw him on multiple servers just posting about
you know, man, he's good at that. I mean, in fact, it was really funny because this morning while I was talking to DT about it and I was looking through the server, I was looking and it gave me, you know, why don't we have Linux alert section in our server? We should create a Linux alert server where people can post those kind of things, where Jake can come in there and drop stuff just like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good idea. We could have like a channel.
The Tuck Steve project joined the chat. What's up, my brother?
Hello.
Thanks for Warp. I have books on how to write bash scripts. And whoa, it popped up stuff that would have taken me hours to read. There you go. I'm telling you.
I'm glad you found it.
I'm glad you found. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's awesome. I was impressed. I really was. Like I said, it's definitely something. It's definitely a terminal to you know, definitely keep in mind. I mean, seriously, it's legit. It's gonna be a good one. It's GPU, you know, GPU driven, so it's gonna be pretty badass.
I haven't seen anything that's really comparable yet. I mean, you can do most of the functionality in like Alacrity or Kitty if you configure it yourself. But like but
out of the box,
all the theming and
out of the box, nothing.
files.
Yeah, out of the box, nothing.
Right. You're doing all
You
your
know,
theming and config files. You would not have an assistant to help you. And like you were saying with Tuxedo project, I mean,
mhm.
that's a tool that I really don't. I think once it's been introduced, it should never be taken away. You know,
Well,
because right, it should be used as a tool, not as a
well, yeah,
crutch. There's a
but
difference.
but
But
you know, then we get into the whole proliferation of the growth of AI and what direction it's going to take. I mean, it's too early to know that. You know what I mean? That's why I think it should be opt-in from the beginning, because not everybody wants it, but everybody that wants it can just simply toggle something on somewhere.
you know,
Yeah, I mean,
I understand where you're coming from. I
or
just
at least
know,
make a toggle within the panel
right?
in the panel itself. Like you can tell, you know, the tabs are nice. Also, by the way,
Yeah,
somebody mentioned that too. The tabbing's like the Windows, you know, terminal, you know, PowerShell too. I mean, you can definitely, you know, I mean, they can put a little toggle in there to turn it on or off.
right. And they could just have it where like it's like a sidebar that'll open or close on
Yeah.
the side. Yeah,
Well, right now it's not. You click on it and then it opens
right.
on the little, you know, the
Or
AI assistant, the
or you
lightning bolt
type in
looking thing or
shift
whatever it is.
pound and hit
Yeah, or
enter
you can
and
do the key
the
bindings.
door's
Yeah,
open.
but I mean, it's not
Yeah,
always open. No. So, but I'm just saying. I mean, you know, there's, like I said, just little tiny tweaks. Nothing. Not a damn thing that's a deal breaker to me. I don't think. I
well,
mean, technically, it's not using the AI unless you click on it to use it. So in a way, it is kind of a toggle. You know, one could
you
argue
know,
that.
well, what I'm waiting for is whenever
But
one
the
of two
part that the
things
hang up
happens.
people have is setting up an account to use it.
Right. And I think a lot of the reason why we have to have it that way is because most GPUs that most people have, we're not talking 4090s that cost $1,600,
Hmm.
right? They can't really do that yet. Like they can, but it's very, very slow.
Yeah.
So like they can't really do it locally because of that reason, right? But if they can optimize it or if they can make it where it'll run on lesser hardware, I could see a local version type of
You're
copy or
welcome,
something.
Jake.
It would be pretty great.
Yeah. He said he's signed up for an account and everything. And he's testing it out, and he says thanks for letting him know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's really cool. That's really cool. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one, which was I got also talked about. Steve brought it up over there on the Patreon cast. Was Hirens boot CD. For most of you, I don't know how many of you guys, you know, if you have to live in a Windows world, a lot of people wind up using Windows for work or whatever. If you have to live in a Windows world and you do any kind of computer repair, I am sure that you have run across Hiren's Boot CD. If you haven't, and that's what this is for, a lot of people do not realize that there are a lot of tools in there that you can use to actually work on Linux as well. You know, and so let me put it, I'll put it on the screen here. So you can go down, I'm talking about the 15.2. Now, there is a portable edition, which I'll explain in a minute. But I mean, if you look, as you can see, there's lots of different, you know, like the ones that are Windows specific, they have the freeware Windows, but then they've got the MS-DOS logos on the side. You know, a lot of these MS-DOS ones actually will work on like the BIOS crackers and stuff like that for, you know, cracking BIOS passwords. You can reset those. There's also tools for getting you know, like cleaning up browsers, you know, different other browsers you can use actually in a, you know, almost like a live USB environment on it, right? There's different cleaners, there's different virus removers, there's all kinds of, I mean, there's like a gajillion tools. There's data recovery, forensic data recovery tools in here. There's disk management in here. There's you can actually nuke a disk with it, you know, like if you got really like secure data, you know, data that you needed to be gone forever, you can do that as well. Also on the actual forensic data recovery tools, you can actually recover, I think, up to the 6th integer, which means that like normally when you erase a file, it'll get rid of like the very first, you know, integer of the file name in the 0 1s, right? And so it'll get rid of that one. And then as it gets more and more further buried, another one will go away, another one will go away. And you can recover back up to 6. So I found out allowed unsupported system through the that's it.
That's for
yeah. But anyhow, I have made a mistake what I did when I first discovered that. Funny story, somebody came in with a computer that they bought at a garage sale, and it had an operating system on it, and I didn't know that they had bought it at a garage sale, but it had an operating system on it, right? And when they use it and they did something to corrupt it, they're like, can you get back some files that I'd saved to it, in the time frame that I had it? I'm like, sure, no problem. I'll go to your documents, your pictures, and get that kind of stuff, because that's usually the only real environment, and music and videos. So I charged them to go into their documents, pictures, videos, and stuff. And when I hit that videos folder, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it was not a pretty scene when I opened up the data that came back off that.
Oh.
Oh yes, you got the right.
How bad are we talking, Alex? Like stuff you can't say on stream, or?
Yeah, I cannot describe it on stream, but let's just say that I actually had to remove the hard drive and give it to certain personnel to take in as evidence.
Oh, okay. It's so funny. I'm laughing a little, chuckling a little bit, because I had this exact same conversation with somebody yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually Darren, ironically. We talked
really?
about this. He had a very similar situation to happen to him as well.
Yeah, that happened. So, I mean, I'm still not even done scrolling through the stuff. But as you can see, I mean, it just keeps going. There's so many tools in this disk. I mean, they've got bleach it. They've got boot recovery. I mean, boot recovery. They got all kind. They've even got grub repair tools in there. I mean, it's just a lot of tools in there, man. And it's a fantastic tool to put in your little arsenal belt, and it's pretty agnostic as to if you want to. Darren just did his chuckle thing in the chat,
right?
but I mean, it's pretty agnostic to. I mean, you can boot it up like any live environment. You can put it on Ventoy. It's awesome, and you can use it ad nauseum for whatever situation you have. I think there may be even a couple of tools that will work on Mac, believe it or not.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's even got Gparted on there, for Christ's sake. That's
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's insane what's in there. I mean, it's got lots of cool stuff. Now the PE edition, the portable edition, it's not as many as this one, but it's more. It's got some Windows tools on there. It's got some Windows tools on there, but not as many as this one. But it's actually a Windows. I want to say 11 or 10. I can't remember. I think it's 11. A Windows 11 portable edition. So it's very flexible for you to use. You have GUI driven instead of terminal driven stuff that you would do here with, you know what I mean? So it depends on which, kind of life you want to live with it, but you can use either one of them, but you're a little bit more limited in the PE edition to the actual tools.
I love the idea of this tool, but then I honestly, call me an elitist when I say this, but that's when I just be like, man, you're having a problem with Windows. I'll just show you Linux, bro.
Well, no. What I'm saying, fuck the Windows tools. I don't care about the Windows. I'm saying there's a lot in here for Linux that people have a problem recovering their system. I mean, although you can use a live CD and cheroot in and do that, of course. You know what I'm saying, to fix some stuff. But I mean, this avoids that. When it's a target specific application, it'll just go right to it.
Yeah, it's because like you were saying, it had Gparted on board. I'm really glad that they're, from what it sounds like, I haven't looked at this yet. From what it sounds like, is a lot of these are GUI based utilities, right? So,
some of them are not. Like it's got clones. It had clones. I don't know if it does anymore. It's got clone disk, clone wipe, disk image, right?
Right.
Ghost for Linux. Okay, so you you can literally clone a whole drive, copy a whole drive into an ISO.
A lot of bad people doing stuff with that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. It's got all like I said, dude, you got to check it out. It's freaking, dude. I found that when I worked in a computer shop decades ago, man, when it was on like 9, 7 or 8, somewhere in that area. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was amazing then. And I'm not bullshitting you, man. I use that thing daily, like daily. You know,
Dude,
it's got a registry cleaner in it that's freaking amazing. I can't remember the name of it, but this is one of those that would find viruses that were embedded into your registry for Windows.
If I had a thumb drive for every single one of these type of these utilities I had to have, I would have like dozens of thumb drives. I wouldn't be able to hold on to all of them. There's so many of these great tools out there.
Well, yeah, but there's only certain ones that really work well for Linux. I mean, this is so have you heard of the System Rescue CD?
Yes, I have.
Okay, take that, dump some crack sauce on it, man, and just light that on fire. That's what this is.
Nice.
For real. I
love the way you just described that.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really. I mean, this guy's been, and it's Hiren and Han Hodge's homepage is where it's at. But these two cats put this stuff together, and they've been like curating these, I'm sure, for decades. It seems like, So
right.
But anyhow, so that's my thing of the day. My tool of the week for you guys.
Yeah, real quick, Whiskey here is talking about Ventoy and that it took place of the pen drive Linux.
Yep.
Or Yumi for him. Oh my gosh, he's talking about Yumi.
Mm-hmm.
Yumi, that takes me so far back.
I was gonna say that's way back in the day.
Yeah. Because before,
but the thing is, you know what I will argue is what I've had an issue with, and somebody brought up a point, and they were correct in what they were saying. I couldn't understand why I would get X amount of uses out of a pen drive with Ventoy on it, no matter how large it was, and it wasn't even full. And all of a sudden, it just would get corrupted and not work.
Right. I had that happen a few times. I think what's happening is it's not. And you know how it formats? I think it's just not formatting properly.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but somebody said try doing it. Somebody said try doing that with an external hard drive. Mm-hmm. And I did. And it works fine, no problem. And it has been now for like months.
Right. Which
is wild. I don't understand that. So if you're having issues with Ventoy on that, and it'll self-corrupt itself and for no reason, I mean, you unmount it safely, and when it says to remove it, you remove it, and also you go to plug it back in for some reason, something got messed up. I don't know where, what, why, don't really care. All I know is it was aggravating me, and I actually stopped using Ventoy for that reason, and went back to just, etching burning every ISO I could, on a bootable drive. But, when I did that, when I went to the external hard drive, so far it's worked fine.
Donald, you are a wonderful person. You know that.
Oh, got you. Yeah, if
even now he's being the tech support.
That's what he does, man. Dude. Yeah, he's awesome. Donald's awesome. D-Dubs, he's known in the Discord servers. Mm-hmm. He is an amazing person, man. He helps you out a lot, man. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you guys should join the Discord. We have great voice chat sessions in there almost nightly now anymore.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And he's always in there willing to help. Always willing to help, man.
And speaking of willing to help, you okay if I move on to the next topic?
Let's go, baby boy. Let's do this.
Okay. You guys tired of Twitter? Guys, BlueSky is open for everybody.
Oh, boy. I'm going to put this on the screen for him. As the title says, do we really need another Twitter experience? I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So apparently this cat was one of the developers for Twitter. And when you download the app, and let's not think that Jonathan over there did not try to get me to download the app and install the app and take a look at the app. And I was like,
I wanted you to.
Huh?
I wanted you to just look at it because it looks
I don't need to look
like
at
Twitter.
It. You knew it was going to. It was one of the damn developers of Twitter. So he only knows Twitter. So what's he going to develop? Twitter.
But the thing is, I'm talking like it's.
Was he going to do brand it like X?
I'm surprised they haven't been sued.
But anyhow, I know I'm scrolling through it kind of fast, but I just wanted to show you guys. You can find it over at TechCrunch, the article, everything to know about the app trying to replace Twitter. Man, you know what, man? I'm going to put it like this. I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to get in any kind of way, shape, or form, but Twitter got super political and stayed super political.
Yep.
You know, I mean, for some people like me who, I don't have any skin in the game on either side because both of them are just as bad to me, in my opinion. And that's about as deep as I'm going to go on that. But
Alex,
yeah,
I gotta stop you there. We don't know what BlueSky will do yet, right?
well, I know that.
It's like anything else. We got to give it a chance to some extent. So the minute they start
You're
pulling what Twitter
probably-
does, that's when we can start jamming on it as hard as we can, right? Like,
well, apparently, according to the article, the gentleman felt bad about Twitter. What part of Twitter he specifically felt bad about? Was it the way that they got too slanted, or a way that they just like gave up on it and walked away, or got, sold it out on it, or whatever they did? I don't know. Maybe it was the way you hold my beer. That's right. I don't know. I don't know. But at this point in time, with the way that whole kerfuffle went on over there, I could give two F's about it. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna spill.
I mean, you don't see me with True Social on my phone either.
Oh, I won't use True Social. There's a whole political spectrum.
Just simply saying, I'm just simply saying that's where I'm at, man.
BlueSky is not a political platform, from what I'm understanding, because
it hasn't had time yet.
Think of it. Think of BlueSky like this. It's the Twitter, but like with more like a Mastodon type.
With no tracking, no freaking, no propagandist, angles or slants that they were going at. None of that crap. Is that what you're telling me? No more than True Social?
So, because right, if you fine, Mastodon has that stuff on it somewhere. So you're gonna stop using Mastodon?
And what are they using?
I believe it's actually really a Mastodon backend. If I remember right.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just or it's a Fediverse backend. I should correct that.
Okay, so it's still not better.
But here's the thing.
I'm still waiting for you to make a valid point here.
So, like, I actually have an account on BlueSky. I'm gonna give it a try for a couple of months. If it turns into a train wreck, I will 100% come back and tell you guys it is a dumpster fire. I have no problem doing that.
I'm telling you, the minute that people find, because there were some people that were just completely in love with Twitter.
Right.
And they were ultra whatever side they were. You know what I'm saying? Those people are going to migrate right back to that.
Right. That's I don't know. Because
I'm telling you, it's gonna be like he's making it like home for them.
Here's the thing, though. Twitter isn't what Twitter was, right? Because
it's X.
This is going to become a political discussion here in a minute if we're not careful. After Elon Musk bought it, right, the identity changed, the entirety of the platform changed, right? So it's not really Twitter, it's X now. It has its entire independent identity.
Branded,
what's happening
but it didn't change any of the look.
You're absolutely right. But I think the identity changed. And with it, the identity changing there, what he's trying to do is say, oh, it's independent and it's something new, because he's trying to make X a...
When he got wait. You glazed over a very important fact.
What did I glaze over?
The part that you glazed over that's very important is that when Elon Musk bought X, right, or Twitter, and then converted it to X, however you want to look at it. When he bought that, okay, he got rid of a lot of important people that were in a lot of important places that were doing a lot of things. Okay, whether you want to see it for good or for bad, I'm not arguing that point. But those people changed and made it what it is today.
Here's the thing.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter what it looks and feels like. It's what the people, it doesn't matter what it looks and feels like. It matters what the people that are in the right places are doing with what they're able to do. They have the power to do. And that's where I'm thinking that I hope he doesn't go to that, but I'm telling you, I can't see how he can't, considering he literally worked with some of these people.
Right. And I'm not going to defend Twitter as a platform. What I'm going to defend right now is BlueSky, because it's something different, right? Because the idea is, for lack of better words, we screwed up. We sold our platform to a guy that Yeah, it does a
and
bunch of
knocked our
things.
whatever in the dirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So we need to try over again, and we'll do it in a different way and see if we can do it right this time. We don't know if they're going to do it right
I
or
know.
not, and
We'll
I don't think
reverse
it's
the blue
fair.
and the white.
Right. I mean, seriously, guys, even if you just want to do it for the memes, go open it and look at it just so you see my point on like it's a like in terms of UI, it's a 1-to-1 copy.
Yeah.
Let me see if where's my phone. I might just show you.
Linux Bandit says we need a social media server used only in terminal.
You know, I would love that, but
Geeks would love
I
it,
mean, I think there are
but regular people would never use
do
it. Huh?
Right, right, yeah. So we're not. Are we regular people?
Of course we're normal. Who's normal? What's the definition of normal?
You have a point there, but my thing is, I don't find I don't say I'm normal because I find that insulting. Because then I'm being compared to everybody else.
Oh, you don't like being special? You got your own special star?
I mean, I'm very special. We know this, but just probably not in that way.
Jake is compiling. He's compiling a kernel and running BTOP in war.
Of course he is.
That's awesome. But yeah, show people on the screen what it looks like.
Oh my gosh. Let me go log into my BlueSky.
Let's see what it is. Maybe you can get a couple followers over there.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
LinuxTube's not going to be on it anytime soon, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. But hey, Sprungles will be over there.
But we are on X.
Yeah, I'm really confused. Why would you choose that over this?
Because it doesn't have the damn slants that Twitter did when it got cleaned up. I like neutral, I believe you should be able to post whatever you want, right? And within reason. Ahead. Yeah, it's not disgusting or foul or offending of people, but you should be able to post your opinion and be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And not get run off or get banned or get, kicked or whatever, like they were doing. The minute you posted anything that was against what they believed was the mainstream stuff, they would dump you.
Is there any way you can zoom me in, Alex, so they can see it?
You can't switch the wheel cog and change your scene?
I changed it to desktop. Is it showing?
No.
No. Okay. Interesting. Because I changed it from the scene and then desktop and hit OK. So
I see your YouTube studio or the studio.
So why?
Open the flag. Open the app there. On that screen.
Let me let's do this. What I was trying to do was just
Sweet, now it's sideways.
Yes. I gotta rotate it. Yeah, that's my OBS. Let me go ahead and click out of it.
Yeah.
Now can you see it?
Sure can.
This is BlueSky, guys.
That is literally Twitter. It's Twitter 2.0.
Yep, I'm logged in right now. There's just a bunch of. I haven't really followed that many accounts on here. I am under at Sprungles. If you do want to follow me over here, that's fine.
I have no way of making you big.
But yeah, that's all I really wanted to show you. That functions exactly like Twitter.
Wait. Keep it there. Too. Keep it. Go back to it.
Okay. What?
There you go. There. Now I made you bigger so they can see it. Scroll up and down on it.
Okay. Yeah, it just functions exactly like Twitter. There is some political stuff right now because of the election and stuff going on, but it'll probably quiet down soon, hopefully.
Right.
But yeah, if you can go to a search just like on Twitter, you can go follow people.
Right.
Yeah, feeds just like Twitter.
Yeah.
Anything with notifications. It reminds me of the old layout of Twitter is what it does.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's okay. It's very simple and it's very easy to use, which I think is probably a plus for it. Again, if you want to follow me, go for it. If not, I don't.
Because Jonathan secretly loves Twitter.
No, I don't love Twitter. I do like this platform because
he's a BlueSky.
It's not backed by the proprietary backend of Twitter, if that makes sense. That's why I'm okay with it.
Mm.
It is in the Fediverse, so and I'm okay with most Fediverse platforms.
Yeah, well, I just transitioned back to the regular podcast
Okay.
resolution, so you can go back to your camera.
But yeah, let me go ahead and change the scene over. My thing is, be careful if you're going to use something like this and understand that you can see me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just be careful if you're going to do something like this, right? Because don't like put your heart into this. Yet,
Linux Bandit
like,
says that the terminal social media app could be called Tux Social.
I absolutely love this
I love
idea.
the name. Actually,
when is this happening?
That's a pretty sick name. That's a pretty sick name.
Ooh.
I know. If we only knew a couple developers.
Only if.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be interested in developing something like that, not say distros or something like that.
My thing is, how would they maintain it, right? Because like even Mastodon has like some corporate backing to some extent.
Well, it would take a lot of money. I mean, think about it. I mean,
yeah,
you could do it using a Discord, server.
That's true.
You could do it using a Discord server and just make a different front end. It just scrapes and changes whatever, off of, whatever's posted that you list in there.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. I think
because even Discord has a video side to it, so if you want to do like a video messaging or recording or record a little video, you can do that too.
This is when I wish I would be farther along in my learning to code journey.
This is where I wish I was younger and had time to learn that kind of crap.
I have been learning C++ at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually really not too bad. I don't understand why people are saying it's as hard as it is, because honestly, it hasn't been that hard so far. Do know I'm only like a week and a half in.
I was going to say, you're probably still in like chapter 1, right?
right. I'm in pretty much, yeah. I'm at the beginning of the process, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem too hard yet. And I have a feeling the yet is very important in that sentence.
Right. I wonder if you could ask ChatGPT, hey, can you code me a front end for Discord server that looks like Twitter?
It'd probably be too complex for it. To be honest, that's a lot of work, man. Because ChatGPT only makes one file at a time.
Hey, man, it's supposed to be all knowing. God damn it!
But you're right. It's supposed to be. Doesn't mean it is. Heck, they still hallucinate. They still lie to you. So.
Well, it gets confused because it gets confused because it scrapes Reddit.
You want to poke at want me to poke at another AI real quick?
Sure.
So there's one called Brock that's done by Twitter, ironically.
Are you serious? Wow.
I'm serious. They have their own. It's supposed to tell you absolutely everything about what's happening on Twitter. It's the only one that can do it. Yeah,
I can't repeat what Darren said
90% of the time.
Doesn't surprise me.
You can say how many followers does this person have. It'll just blatantly give you the wrong answer.
But so is it made to do that, or is it just legitimately doing that? Is it like a meme one? You think so? I mean, I'm waiting for that to happen. Somebody to make a meme AI out there that just trolls you, a troll AI. Like, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here!
Ooh, what's that called?
I'm too late. I don't feel like looking your crap up today.
Ooh, what's it called? There is something funny. There is this it? There is a version of ChatGPT. I can't think of the name right now. It's like a really evil version. Like it's made to just do bad things. That's the entire purpose of it. I'm not joking. Let me see if I can find it.
War Thunder said Reddit is probably why it would deploy all nukes if it
that is so true, though. Oh no! Oh my gosh! No!
I told you. All the lies all the lies and stuff that you find, that ChatGPT, just garbles out. That's because it scraped Reddit.
If there was like one person that survived that, they would have 2 lines to say, and that would be, "Well, dang it, Terminator was right," and 2, "Well, we didn't expect it to be that way." All thanks to Reddit.
Yeah, thanks to Reddit. Oh, that's funny.
uh,
That's funny. But no, I mean, when it comes to the blue sky thing, like I said,
right.
you know, they are going to get the crowd that I think they're going to get. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I may be wrong. It may be me coming back in a couple weeks and you'll be like, look, Alex, no, 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 whatever. All I'm saying is my opinion is going to be that. And to be honest with you, I don't think that many people are going to go to it because I think a lot of people are just still sticking with Twitter. And most of the other people, the people who abandoned Twitter and left, I think they all went to Mastodon anyhow.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and they've been there for how long now? They've been there for how long? And turned it into whatever it is that they made it over there?
I have too many social media accounts. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I do too, to be honest with you. I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook, I got this, it's all because of this channel. And like, I don't do with half of them. Like, I just set up for Locals, another freaking social media platform.
I know, right?
You know, to link that to be able to do stuff on Rumble, which I'm looking forward to Rumble. By the way, our stuff on Rumble is getting lots of views, which is wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Real quick.
Yeah.
Chat, if you guys, like, we've been looking for a long time. If you know the cross-posting platform, like you can type in once and it posts to all of them, please let us know.
Let him know, because I don't give two craps about it.
Like, I want to start like getting us over there so people can see us. You know, like we can.
You mean for the channel?
Yeah, for the channel. Yeah. Because as of right now, if I wanted to do all of the socials that we have, it would be like 7 or 8 different platforms. So that means every time we'd post something, I'd have to do it 7 or 8 times.
I'm gonna just say TTSP because it's the Tusk Steve-O project. So I'm gonna just say TTSP. TTSP says there's probably already a drop-in for Twitter that's open source. If you guys want, I'll look for it because I know you can start up an exact clone of Facebook. So there should be. Oh wow! So there should be one for Twitter. That'd be interesting.
Oh my gosh! Are we saying that? What did we call it again? Tux
Social.
Tux Social could actually exist. It could be hosted all on GitHub.
Yeah, on GitHub, exactly. There you go.
Dude, we need to like talk about this. Like in the after show today, we should totally talk about this.
In the voice chat?
Yeah, in the voice chat.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild. But anyhow, so yeah, like I said, you know, I'm not. I don't think the other thing I got cut off before I finished that last thought on it is I don't think this platform is going to take off like they think it will, because like I said, most people have already gone to to Mastodon or wherever it was they went into the Fediverse, right? And when they all abandoned ship over there, and then other people just stayed on X. They learned to deal with X the way it is. So he could be coding for something or built this for something that was no real reason for.
Right. We'll just see what happens. I'm gonna stick with what I think for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you got anything else?
Not really.
I mean, we're actually wrapped up. We're just a little shy of the 1 hour mark, but that's all the topics. What about chat? Does anybody else have anything in chat they want to talk about?
Yeah, for sure. Some ideas would be great.
Well, I'm sure that there's something that they want to talk about.
Yeah. Here is one.
Huh?
Oh, I'm just reading what Darren's saying.
What did he say? Oh, that there is one?
An extension that will take live messages and post them to Rumble and Twitch TV too. Oh, you're talking like a cross chat. Yeah. We need we need to figure that out, but just some background. We were gonna be streaming to Rumble today, but like you saw at the beginning of the stream, there are some issues. So we first got to get that working, and then we'll worry about the chat stuff.
Darren says the downfall of Microsoft would be good. Well,
oh boy.
You know that's never going to happen because Microsoft has embedded itself and worked its way into the enterprise level so deep that major companies use it predominantly and are not going to let it go because they spent all that money on licensure. Now, if those licensures expire and there's a suit pick up and run with and deploy instantly overnight and not have an issue with any cross-form or cross-platform software or have to implement any type of alternative software, they could literally use what they use. That's when they'll look at it and be like, okay, we could use that. But until that is developed and that is deployed, that's never going to happen. And Microsoft will never fall. It may lose a home division. It may lose its gaming division, which, by the way, I know that here in Seattle, they had, like a couple weeks ago, laid off like thousands of their gaming division people. So
that's
sales aren't doing so good. It's not bringing in the money it should have been bringing in. And therefore, they had to do some budget cutbacks.
I'm really disappointed that they did that, because when you say the gaming division, you're not just talking about Windows at that point. You're talking about Xbox too. And, my brother loves to play Xbox. So, like, I really hate to see that go away, because that's a way for him to have his pastime with how he is. So, that'd be really sad, because I guess that would be whenever I switch to him to Linux and emulate all his games for him. And we'll have him 100% legally got right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, would you have it any other way? I mean, come on. I mean,
right.
We're not Linux nerd hacker types guys. No, not at all.
Right. Yeah. No, totally not.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually have a little bit of a topic based on what you just said.
Mm.
Oh boy, am I getting really, really, really sick of sitting at work. Somebody walks up to my computer, sees that I'm running Linux, and goes, "Are you hacking the network?" I'm like, "No, bruh. I'm just opening an application."
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. See, and I think that's some of the mystique that makes Linux so off hands to the people, because it's been known as a hacker's operating system, because they see the terminal, they see most of us like the wall of text, I mean, that's kind of one of the cool things about NixOS when you do the switch rebuild. Although it's annoying as fuck that you got to do it all the time, but when you do the rebuild, you see that wall of text when it's compiling stuff. It's kind of cool. It makes you feel like you got power. You know what I mean? And so when people see that, that aren't used to that and don't really understand what that text says and what it means, they think you're hacking NASA.
Right, and I find it so funny, because
I bet you those people went home and probably went into their room and tried to find a Faraday cage to put their damn cell phone in so you couldn't hack their cell phone.
Probably. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have sniffed the network before using Wireshark, but that's just because, like, when the network at work is really bad, so I'm wondering what's going on that slows it down. And you can see what other people are doing, and sometimes people are just downloading really large files. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just trying to figure out why.
Right.
Yeah.
Before my wife, War Thunder says, before my wife understood what Linux was, I was not to open to the terminal in the airport. I was told not to open the terminal in the airport.
You shouldn't, no matter what. Even if the person does understand.
So this last time when I flew to the island, I was in San Francisco terminal. And I went to the gate to check in at the gate, make sure that, my flight was leaving okay and everything. Sat down next to this cat, and this cat opens up his laptop and he just starts typing in some stuff. And then I look over, next thing you know, I'm seeing DistroBox.
Oh my gosh.
With OpenSUSE on it. And I got to talking to the cat. And I'm like, wow, DistroBox. He's like, you know Linux? I said, I know a little bit. And then he says, huh. And then all of a sudden, like, he just starts doing his thing, right? And he's looking at stuff, and I'm just sitting there just sipping my coffee, talking to some other people and stuff like that. And I kind of glance over at the laptop again, and he's got Firefox open and our page up, and the page pulled up. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I just winked at him, and I walked off. He's like, So then I come back. So I wanted to go get like a burger or something. I come back and they were getting ready to board, and he was waiting and waiting and waiting. He comes and says, I recognized you from somewhere. Some of the guys at my work watch you. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I said, that's kind of cool. He says, yeah, we do. Sick. They work for the government. They do some stuff for the government, and they're all in there, and they all use DistroBox to do a lot of their stuff that they use. And so I'm like, okay, cool.
Gosh dang it, Alex! You made it now that I can't do my very secret, very scary things anymore.
Oh, come on, man. But yeah, no, so I mean, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool, you know, but that's the first time I ever saw that wall of text and was like, yeah, I know what that was. And he was like shocked because normally, you know, like War Thunder, you know, he was telling me his family tell him not to do those kind of things around them because it makes them nervous.
You know, so you're absolutely right. But everybody's nervous when they're first learning something new. So like, they can get over it. That's my opinion.
Well, they just think he's very capable and very dangerous, and he works for the government, so they don't know what the fuck he's doing.
right. We both laughed. I'm pretty sure at this. So when expand it is like most of us aren't using Kali Linux. So here's the funny thing.
Yep.
You have two different tiers. You have
wait. That's for ethical testing, pen testing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're only doing the ethical.
So even if you're using Kali Linux, you're safe, right?
I'm sorry. I did not mean to snort. For real, those that actually know how to pen test, no, you don't need a specific distribution to do it.
Nope, you just download the app out of your what you call it. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off on what you were saying, but go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Oh no, it's just like, I mean, if I recommend anything at all and like they want a distro, I don't tell them Kali, I tell them Black Arch. Like, you're gonna get the latest.
Oh well, you got that. You got Bodhi Linux. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, like there's a lot of good examples, but man, Kali is the last one I would ever use.
I mean, and if you're really doing things completely up to par and don't need to mask your privacy at all, then there's certainly no need for Tails.
Man, I love Tails. I'm not gonna lie. There was a period of time in my life I was using it, but like I wasn't exactly using it in the way I was supposed to. So I would put it. Obviously goes on a thumb drive, right? I would take it to school and I would boot up onto their computers, Tails, and then I'd get in trouble for it, just because like I didn't want them watching what I was doing.
So who was it that caught you? The teacher, or was it the IT IT guy?
Teacher did.
I'm really surprised that the IT guy didn't catch it.
No, the teacher told me I needed to stop doing that. And then I was like, why? It's not like I'm hurting anything. I'm not writing to the disk or anything. And the teacher's like, because you're not allowed to do that. I'm like,
so interestingly enough, I have a friend of mine who actually works in the IT department for a public school district down in Olympia. And he's telling me that the minute that one of the IPs goes offline, they automatically zoom in on that IP when it comes back up again and start, checking what this person's doing on that, what kind of transmissions they're getting on that, because they've had way too many instances where people do exactly what you were doing.
I was in middle school. I knew better, but like I didn't at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. It was like,
I mean, he said some of these kids were getting on, when the teacher walked up to him, had this onion looking page thing on it. You know what I'm saying? These kids are like getting on the dark web and crap, man. It's like, what?
I mean, when you're a rebellious teenager, like, what else are you supposed to do? You're bored as shit most of the time.
Well, not do stupid shit, obviously, but I guess that's
kids.
Being a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
We were kids. We did stupid things. That's part of being a kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, he told me he's told me some nightmares about his IT stuff, man. One of them did some stuff with trying to DDoS some. I don't know if it was a developer or a game vending place. He tried to DDoS them using the school's freaking network. I mean, he did all kinds of. He's telling me all kinds of stuff, man. Oh my god.
That's just asking to get expelled.
Oh no, that kid got totally banned from the school. Like the school district, they had to homeschool the cat.
Yeah, no. I didn't like have anything like that happen. They just said just don't do it again, and basically a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, this was a teenager that he discovered because he oversees the middle school and the high school. He has a partner that helps him with the middle school, and he handles the high school. So, and most of the egregious stuff happens on the high school level, obviously. No,
I've only ever met one of the school's IT staff, and that was just like walking through the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this
guy, you know, he's really cool. Mike's his name. Well, I won't tell you his last name, but his name is Mike. Mike, he says he just sits in his office and he has all these little, you know, tools that he's got deployed to just alert him of different things, and he just responds to them as they pop up really quickly.
Makes sense.
9 times out of 10, he hits a kill button and just kills whatever. But if it's something egregious enough, then he's got to bring in, you know, the principal and, you know, teachers and parents and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Like, I was never doing anything. Excuse me, I have the hiccups now.
I see that.
I wasn't ever doing anything like bad, really.
Mm-hmm.
I was just doing it because I got really tired of people monitoring me. That's all it was.
Yeah. Well, they didn't we didn't even have network back in the day when I was in school. There wasn't an internet when I was in school. That's how far back I go, for real.
Oh, you're good.
I mean, I can't say they didn't have it. It was probably there. It was probably there, but it just wasn't, you know, like it was still private sector in like government only phase, you know, using phase. Because I know that the government developed the actual internet itself. Or governments. Right. I don't even know exactly which governments it was, but I know that it was developed mainly for the military to be able to communicate in the event of a catastrophic failure of their landline communications for whatever reason.
Are you talking like so far back as like T3 lines?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Oh wow, okay. I was watching a video about that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
By Dave's Garage. Really good YouTube channel if you guys haven't seen it, by the way. Just a little plug.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, for real. I mean, there wasn't around in my day of school, so I could never get in trouble with that. I remember I thought I was hot shit with a 1440K modem? Or I can't remember, 14.4. It's just a regular dial-up modem. And they had the free internet services, the free net. I mean, it was just over the telephone line. You had to yell at your brother, sister, get off the damn phone. I want to get online.
Man,
or you'd be online, or you would be online, right? Online doing your AOL or whatever, and then somebody pick up the phone and disconnect your ass.
Boo.
Yeah.
You know, I think my generation was very
14.4K modem. That was right.
I think people in my generation don't understand how fortunate we are with how networking is these days. Because
that's what I'm saying. That's what the other day when we were in the voice chat, and I was talking literally about how you people coming into the Linux world today are miles and miles ahead of what it was when I came into it. That's why a real new to Linux user going to a more, what I would have termed, in my opinion, as a seasoned veteran type distro is actually it doesn't translate anymore, because you got people coming in that are brand new that have been taught how to code in school. They understand how they've had a network in their fingertips their whole life. They've probably set up their freaking mom and dad's network for them on their router. That's why parental freaking guidance, controls don't work on their router, because mom and dad trusted them and they turned that shit off when they were setting it up, because mom and dad don't know any better. But in any instance, right. These kids are coming in miles ahead of the curve. So if they were to dip into like a Gentoo or an Arch or something like that, they're probably going to have a 98% success rate. It's probably not going to be much of anything. So, oh yeah, I got this. I remember this now. Back in 8th grade, I learned about this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's nuts, because I even find it crazy, because my generation, I think, Gen Z is so large, so I think it should be split up into 2 generations, to be honest. I'll explain why in a second. So what, dumbasses and dumbasses are? I mean,
I'm just
yes,
kidding. I'm
pretty
kidding.
much.
I'm
But
kidding. I'm
but
kidding. Don't
no, no,
troll me
you're
for
not
that. I'm
wrong in
just
some
kidding.
aspects though. So let me continue though. I was closer to the beginning of Gen Z, right? So that means whenever whenever I was going to school, we were starting to learn to code to some extent, but we're talking like HTML, CSS. We're not
Right.
doing anything beyond that. Um, so I did that in high school, but that's high school. Nowadays, kids are doing that stuff in junior high, middle school, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's literally
freaking
what I'm
nuts. I'm
saying.
like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, like I'm even seeing that gap and change, and I'm not very, I'm 22 years old, right? And it makes me crazy. It drives me crazy sometimes that I'm compared to the same people that had an education like that in middle school, right? Like, why am I not allowed to just be my own generation then? If I, because a lot of, I know where I'm living, which is in Oklahoma, right? I've said this publicly. I don't mind saying it here.
Hmm.
We're behind like an entire generation in technology a lot of the time. So I know my experience may be different. Like, how do I explain this?
Well, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Certain segments of the country, like up here, I'm in tech capital of the world. I mean, come on, man. I'm in Microsoft's backyard.
right,
I mean, developers, techs, they're dude, I could throw a rock and hit 12. You know what I mean?
right,
Whereas in Oklahoma, yeah, it's not predominantly known for that. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely correct in the fact that geographical location does play a factor into that. So going from what you know there, because you see what you see there, the children that are the young adults that are graduating in school from your neck of the woods versus the neck of the woods here is probably a drastic, comparison, because like up here, these are getting the newest and latest of everything, I'm sure, tech wise.
right. But the thing is, though, Oklahoma's been catching up in a lot of that. But what's happened is over about the last 10, 15 years, right? So, like, right after I would have graduated, honestly,
Yeah,
that type of time, we've been getting a lot more updated, but it's been really fast in a short amount of time. So it's a lot of growth in a short amount of time. And I just get so jealous. I mean, so jealous that I didn't have that in school
it's
because I
like
was the tech whiz in school,
it's like
right?
it, dude.
Like,
It's literally you're literally like that Comcast commercial. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's got these two kids, right? And this one kid's watching his baby brother playing on a phone. He's like, "Man, I wished I had it like you had it nowadays when I was growing up." He says, "What? You can get Wi-Fi?" He says, "You can get Wi-Fi, on your tablet or something." He says, "No, I mean you can get Wi-Fi anywhere now, man." He says, "Yeah, I can get Wi-Fi in the basement." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's like not that big of a difference, you know?
I mean, heck, just to prove my point, so I was watching YouTube videos on an HSPA plus connection in middle school. So that's a
Dude, Linux
3G
Linux Bandit.
connection.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're good. Good. No, no,
Linux
you're
Bandit
good.
brought
That's all I
something
was
up. There
gonna
was
say.
a kind of a cool thing in chat. It says, "Would love it if telephone poles had a LAN hub to plug Ethernet up to for the community-wide LAN network, free and technically offline, so you can communicate between your neighbors."
Wow.
That's pretty
I
cool.
don't.
That's kind of like setting up a mesh network.
Is there anything legally stopping people from doing that?
Yeah, there actually is.
There is.
Yeah,
Okay.
those poles, they're not public
Hmm.
property.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You put up your own.
Yeah, they're well, you can put up your own, but everybody would put up a pole, and then you have to get a permit from the city for doing that.
Right. Okay.
And then you also have to get your neighbor. You have to be able to get your neighbor to put one up, so you can go from one to the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It'd be a hassle.
Yeah, it would be a whole lot of hassle. But I mean that's actually not that's a cool idea, and to an essence. So I know this isn't super Linuxy, but to make it Linuxy, I'll tell you that Chirp is the application that you want to use, where you can actually send communications with the computer via ham radio.
Oh.
Yep, there's an actual interface that you could buy that will let you send communications via the internet to people.
You know, I actually saw something the other day. It was super cool. I'm not sure how it works, but apparently you can make a radio that doesn't run on electricity.
That's true. It's a crystal radio.
Yeah.
What do you think AM is? Some of the old AM radios, that's what they are. It'll pick up those frequencies.
Like, that's just so unimaginable to me because everything I've pretty much ever seen runs on
See,
electricity. For the
you
most
hang
part,
out with
right?
us boomers, man. You get by on the basics. So when the EMP falls, man, we got you, baby. We got you.
Oh, I had some weird conversations about that stuff the other day. I'm not going to talk about that on stream, though.
Yeah, Darren's. They had a BBS on ham radio. They did. Yeah, I mean, there's older technology out there that's still viable for this kind of stuff. It's just that it's not the latest and greatest, and it's not as fluffy friendly as some of the stuff is today. So people just abandoned it. But it's good to know your history, where you come from, because you never know when you might have to fall back on it. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, I'm just saying though. I'm gonna have a hot take here for a second.
Go ahead.
Society's gonna either do really well or gonna end, I think, in the next 50 years because of AI.
Skynet's going to take over. What are you kidding, man?
Right.
It's going to be Skynet coming around. Terminator's going to be knocking on my door, say, "You need to come with me and get in the chopper."
Right. Like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I mean it's it is what it is. I mean, technology's ever going forward. You can't stop it. You got to let it play out. You just got to kind of go along for the ride and enjoy what you can out of it. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
You know,
there's only so much we can control.
But we are at 3:22, so if you want, we can go ahead and end it, because we can go jump in the voice chat for a little bit afterwards, and then call it a day. So, guys, that wraps it up for the show. If you guys want to see us, we'll be in the after party at our voice chat channel that's in the lounge in our Discord server. If you're there, see you there. If you're not, have a good one. Till then, we will see you. Y'all keep doing what you do. Keep on Linuxing. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And above all, we'll see you in the very next one.
Come join us in the chat.
We're rolling that outro, baby. Oh, shoot. Foxley Lightmare, type to them, join.
I know. I will. Let me go ahead and do that.
Drop the link to the Discord.
Okay, let me do that. Here says invite people, copy.